Hi everybody, Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well, my friends. Happy Monday. If you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe, become a channel member, do whatever you want to do. Bloody Chelsea. Bloody Chelsea. Anyway, I hope you're safe and well. Big week. Big week. I don't want to dwell too much on the game yesterday, but we will go through it very, very briefly. We'll do your ratings. We'll get your views, get my views, and then we'll just crack on because we got a hell of a week this week. Hell of a week. Obviously, we'll have the preview for the Frankfurt game on Wednesday with Anton. Thursday, we won't be doing a watch-along, but we'll be doing a highlight show afterwards because the whole Baker family are going to London Stadium by the sounds of it. But we'll try and meet up with all of them at the end of the game like we did last time for the Lyon game and do something. I think Jim's coming. I think Freddie's coming. I think Anton's coming. I think his brother's mother, any other brother, they're all coming by the sounds of it. And I know they've booked a Premier Inn, so they know they're staying over. So that's what we're going to do. Tomorrow night we're going to be having doing a show, a Mark Noble tribute show, the Noble era. We've been talking about it for a while. I was thinking it might be good to have a distraction more than anything. Starting to get nervous about Thursday already. So we're doing the Noble era tomorrow. So it's going to be a live show and we're going to go through every player that Mark Noble has played with in his West Ham career. There's a lot of them. So it's going to be a good show. It'll be some players you've completely forgot about, I guarantee. So that we're doing that as well. Let's see, we've got in the chat. Oh, a few people already. Happy Hammerette, hope you're well. James is in the chat, hope you're well. Gaz is in the chat. Reese is there. Stuart's there. Frank's in. Good evening, Frank. Good afternoon, rather. Everyone's talking to each other. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thanks to everyone who joined us for the watch along. Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? It's like the last two, obviously we had the Tottenham game where we sort of was like meh after the game, after we lost that one, and I'm a bit meh after the game yesterday as well. It's weird, isn't it? Weird how times have changed. Usually I'd be apoplectic. That's a long word for a Monday. I'd be apoplectic if we'd lost both of those games. But now I'm like, just worried about Thursday now. And yes, I am probably the most half-glass full person in the world. But, looking back at it, still, if you finish 7th, which I think is more than possible, top 7 finish consecutively, first time ever in our history for the top league, plus semi-finals, ain't been a bad season, is it? Ain't been a bad season. Could have been a lot better, agreed, but it ain't been a bad season. We've still got plenty to play for. Hammer's headlines tonight. We'll be talking about how Frankfurt got on Saturday. Did a little bit of a scouting report. So yeah, looking forward to. Be interested. You can find out how they played, who what was what. My thoughts on the game, that type of thing. And actually, Gaz has just put. We're going to be talking about Lewis Porter as well. There's reports that we're opening talks with Lewis Porter, or Hull City for Lewis Porter, and also a bit of a roundup about the under-18s and the women who both won at the weekend as well. So. Yeah, under 18s beat Chelsea comprehensively. Afternoon, Rob. Hope you're well. I'm a bit meh. Yeah, I'm a bit meh about it. I'm just trying to get over it, and that's it. I was in my local watching it, and as the only Hammer made more noise than any of the plastics. Why does it not surprise me? I still can't believe it was red card. Me neither. Me neither, mate. Me neither at all. The contact was outside the box as well. But anyway, we'll talk. Yeah. Calm down, Russ. GP, good afternoon to you. Stuart, slightly confused us. The Rangers had their game moved to Saturday and we had to play on a Sunday. Whatever happens, still think we can finish top 6. More than possible, Stuart, innit? More than possible. But as the title of today's show says, we had 4 and then there were none. Oh, God. And then there's obviously going, but we should have invested. And most teams don't have more than 4 recognised centre-backs in their squad, do they, realistically, like first-team centre-backs? And we just had a bloody bad luck, haven't we, really? But you forget, people forget, like, Liverpool. Liverpool won the Premier League. And I remember when we played them, they had Jordan Henderson and various others playing centre-back as well. It just happens, innit? Always happens. And it always happens to us. Always happens to us. We'll see what happens, though. Just missed that bit of quality up top. Yeah, that's basically that's like the subtitle to our season, isn't it? Just missed that quality up top. 2 poor days for my West Ham teams. Obviously, James's son lost. The under 16s lost in the JPL trophy. Probably his last game ever in it. Last game for the foundation, he was saying. Got to say, though, that was the worst I've seen in the... Oh, that penalty was amazing, wasn't it? Absolutely amazing. Probably has to be, didn't it? I was talking to Anton today about it. And he was like, well, I don't know if he will. And I said, I think he will. I think he'll have to because, Dawson obviously will be playing on Thursday. He's obviously not suspended for the Europa League, just in case anyone, suggested that would happen. But obviously he won't be playing for the Arsenal game. So he'll have to play Elise. I don't think he'll put Declan Rice in centre back. I don't think he'll even play him. Moisey clearly showed his hand yesterday that he's going for the Europa League. And in his post-match interview, he said, for the first time this season, he rested players. He actually said, I rested some of the strongest players because with Thursday in mind. That's the first time I've heard David Moyes say that. So we can't really begrudge him because I think that's for doing that. I mean, a lot of people, you should play massive well. But the thing is, look, at the end of the day, our squad is thin. We know our squad's thin. And it should have been improved, but it wasn't. And there's nothing to do about it now. But for someone but people go, Declan Rice didn't play. Well, Thursday's the bigger prize. It is. It is the bigger prize. There's nothing to do about that. Proud of the lads. Yeah, I mean, the lads played well, I thought. Dawson got a standing ovation after Reggie. I thought Dawson had and he was like, I think I still put him out for my man of the match. Spoiler alert, because I thought he was outstanding. How many times yesterday he was in front of everything? He was in front of absolutely everything. His body was on the line all the time. Chelsea fans say quite there was hardly any there, weren't there? It's like a pre-season friendly, I was saying. Elise, Baptiste and Higgy. I don't think Higgy will come in. I think Fabianski will still be playing on Sunday for the Arsenal game. I think Elise will. I don't think. I haven't seen. Baptiste hasn't been in anywhere recently. So that sort of, I don't know. And also the under 18s have got a bit more. Baptiste was 23. He's 18, isn't he? We'll see. I think I can see Elise coming in, and maybe slotting into that middle. But look, you don't know more. I mean, give Kral a run out. He can play centre back. Go on, why not? And we'll see. Garino, good afternoon to you. Is there any news on Oggy and Zuma? No. And in all honesty, I mean, I think they were thinking of Oggy becoming, sort of being this month, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'd be surprised if they rush him back before the end of the year, end of the season. I mean, but we'll see. I'd play Baptiste in the rest of the league, but I'm not Dave Moyes. So it'll be Cressy and Barfu and Fredding. Don't think so. I don't think. Honestly, I don't think Roy Moss will risk that. I think he'll put Elise. I can see Elise and Johnson because they've played together at 23s, and so is Baptiste. Actually, the three of them have played it under 23s together with Johnson the right, Elise more sort of left because he can be left-sided because he can be left back as well. So look, we'll see. And it's Thursday, isn't it? So, yeah, we'll see. They do have a game tonight. Way to Everton tonight. I think it's on YouTube. So check that out. I reckon Zuma will partner Elise. I don't think. I'd be surprised if you see Zuma before the end of the season, I reckon, as well. But we'll see. Good afternoon, Lee. Hope you're well. I can't see Frankfurt beating us at home, so as long as we don't lose in Germany, I'll be hopeful we can make the Europa League final. Well, we'll talk about... at 5 o'clock Hammers Headlines, I do a little review of the game yesterday on Saturday where they played Hoffenheim, and quite interesting. Hi all, can we get a decision goes for us? It takes 3 to 4 minutes to sort out. Yeah, it's always against us. It takes 30 seconds. Indeed. Particularly the camera angle. It's the wrong bloody camera angle. That's the thing. Like, and I thought you had double jeopardy. Couldn't you? I thought you couldn't. Or maybe is that the goalkeeper on double jeopardy? Because if the goalkeeper takes play down, he doesn't get sent off and the penalty. He gets the penalty, not the sending off. I thought it was the same with the defenders, maybe just for the goalkeeper. I think just with sanctions, they can't have a full... With sanctions, they can have a full crowd. I don't think they were. Think about TC's isn't everything well for the M21s. I totally agree. Mikey, hope you're well, my friend. Chelsea had 10,000 empty seats due to not being able to sell tickets. Unbelievable, isn't it? The red for Dawson is a blessing in disguise. Now to get some rest versus Arsenal. And more importantly, between... That's what I mean. He won't play. That's what I mean. He won't play for the Arsenal game. So he'll be fresh for the next 2 Thursdays. Mass at centre. What's the worst that could happen? God, dear, could you imagine? Everyone's talking to each other. Is Fat Frank headed to the Championship? Let's hope so. Mass was as was... I didn't think Yarma so much. But Mass, yeah. Hot Tub West Ham network angle. Was that angle meant to be orgy? Anyway, no double deputy as is too manly for such games. Love to see the Spurs toughest go down. Can still be sent off for goal scoring opportunity or violent conduct. Well, there we go. Learn something new every day. Right, let's go for the. I don't want to dwell too much. I just want to crack on with these and get them out of the way, and then start getting ready for Thursday. So Fabianski. Thoughts on Fabianski? I thought he had a good game. I thought Fabianski had a very good game. Not quite my man of the match, but could have been actually. To be honest, maybe should have been instead of Dawson. But anyway, string of routines, but very important saves. It's particularly also. Don't forget he had quite an experienced sort of three partnership. Well, not really experienced because Cresswell's played, but Ben Johnson. It was a slightly haphazard sense, sort of squashed together sort of defence, and I thought he played quite well. And his sort of experience helped definitely. I think obviously the penalty save as well. What we got in the chat, we've got 7. We've got a 10, an orgasmic 10, 8, 8, 8. I mean, I put him down for a 7 because still conceded. Arguably wasn't his fault, but his job's to keep a clean sheet, isn't it? So I put 6. Fab's made some good saves. He did. Russ, if Everton go down, would you want Pickford? Nope. By the way, we are massive. We certainly are, Lee. Frank's gone for a 7 as well, so he's agreed with me. Steve went for an 8. Good to know. Let's go to Vladimir Sufal. Obviously, he was playing in a back 5. Rob, there's no half points. There's no half points in this game. Full numbers. 25 shots they had. Wow. Crazy. Made their mistakes. Lucky goal. Yeah, no, I mean, 7-8 seems quite a similar score. Vladimir obviously played at the right, on sort of the right wing back. He could push forwards, but he didn't. There wasn't really that. He's lost that sort of ferocity. Is that the right word? Ferocity? But he used to make these sort of. He used to be always the threat on the right side, and it just didn't have it. Whether he was concerned about Alonso maybe coming over, because obviously he was up against Alonso, I don't know. But I mean, he blocked everything, from a defensive side, definitely. But with a wing back, it's more about more about sort of the attacking sense, and I don't think he just wasn't his. Since he's come back from injury. He just hasn't been the same player, has he? Really. So yeah, I mean, what we got? Didn't make any mistakes. 7, 6, 6, 7, 6, 7s, 7s from GP, 7 from Gaza. What did I go with? I went for a 5. No, wrong. 6. I went for a 6. Ignore that. That must have been. I put a 6. James put a 5, but I put a 6. I did put a 6, not a 5. I've got it in my bit of paper 6, and I put 5. But anyway, ignore me. I did it late last night, so we went for 5. 5 for Vladimir Sufal. He's better than first half of the season by 5. Yeah, no, definitely. Antonio Zariola, nice name. Hope you're well. If you're new, give us a subscribe, give us a like. New name, like to see some new names on here. Right, let's move on. As I'm going to rush through these because I don't want to be too much. But again, it's a massive rate. Yeah. Benny Boy Johnson. What did I put for Benny Boy Johnson? Just so I don't get it wrong again. Okay. Benny Boy Johnson. Thoughts? Obviously, he doesn't play that right side of the back 3 very often. I think he played against Spurs this season already, but he played the under-23s. But I thought he was all right. I thought Johnson played quite well, quite solid. Clearly, the idea, they play a lot down the left-hand side. And obviously, with Johnson and Sufal, they obviously saw it as they should have gone down the right-hand side a lot more, to be honest, with Masuaku and Cresswell. But they went down their left-hand side a bit more. And I thought he handled it quite well. And, I mean, it's a position he's going to have to be getting used to for the next few weeks, because that's what he's going to be playing. Reece, 7s. Benny Boy Johnson, 7. Everyone's been a bit generous. I went for a 6. I didn't think it was a 7, but that's just my opinion. I put him down for a 6. I thought it was a good game, difficult position for him, but he tried hard. And to be honest, I mean, the first half, I don't think Chelsea had a shot on target until about the 60th minute. Or something like that. Not sure whether to have another boiled egg or just peanut butter. Well, probably peanut butter after your egg instant, not 15-minute egg like last time. With Alay St. Johnson, nice back two from the academy. I like that. 7 for playing out of position. 6, yeah, so 6 or 7s. Similar scores. Mr. Dawson. He was until yesterday the last man standing, wasn't he? Really, and he's integral. He is an integral part of David Moyes' plans this season, which is incredible. I thought he marshalled that back three very well. Obviously, the red card, controversial red card, ruined what would have been an 8, a 9 for me. Probably up there, I'd say. But I think the red card just took a point off for me, in all honesty, because it happened. Regardless, he was in that position. Moisey said, at press conference, I know it was harsh, but you shouldn't be in any sort of tussle around there with. He's experienced enough with Lukaku because he's going to go down as soon as basically you breathe on him. But I thought he's literally every ball, all the time. Massive Dawson, would have been 10 if he'd scored, so a 9. Clearly so many balls. You've got smashed if you weren't for him. Indeed, 8, 9, 8, 9. Quality tackle, never a penalty. 9, don't blame him for that red. If he hadn't, I know, but he got it, innit? So in the same way that I put Fabianski, if he'd not conceded, I may have put an 8 because his job is not to concede goals. But end of the day, he was in that position and he was awesome. And I think I would have given him an 8, but I put him down as a 7. But he was my man match. He was an 8, and I did knock the one off for the red card because it was experience. As an experienced professional, and it's not like Lukaku's an unknown quantity. You know what's going to happen, and you know what they're forcing it. So you don't give them nothing. Don't give him nothing, and yeah, I thought he was awesome. Lukaku goes down easy for big. He does, and he always has done. So that's going to happen, and he knows. So if it was Ben Johnson or maybe there's a sense of experience and being the last man standing in the centre back position. Forced to be putting Lukaku in his pocket. If it wasn't for Bowen, Dawson hammer of the year. Imagine Dawson and Ginger Pele, or maybe we should get Ginger back out on a. Out retirement. Lukaku and I, Spal on Dawson. For me, I think Dawson is the player of the season. Yes. I think he is. I think he's becoming my player of the season. It was Bowen for a lot. It was Declan Rice, then it was Bowen. Now I think it's Dawson because Bowen, everyone else has fallen by the wayside. Declan's had a knock and he's been out, and he's been suspended and Bowen's been injured. But Dawson's still there, isn't he? He's still fucking there, and he's still plugging it along. And he must have broken his nose more times than I've had hot dinners, and I have a lot of hot dinners. So I think I would vote for Dawson as my hammer of the year. I really do, and I think it's he's playing. I mean, he'll probably be absolute garbage next season, but this season he's playing like absolute. If he's not, I mean, it might be Bowie will be hammer of the year, and Dawson. I hope he gets like runner up. Because that would be amazing, wouldn't it? Awesome Dawson. Rice, Bowen. Dawson, Bowen or Rice are player of the year. Bowen and Dawson neck and neck. Hinges on both. It's a great shout, yeah. If Dawson scored, could you imagine? Yeah, it's a good shout. He's like Bishop, Monks. Yeah, I think that's why people get to turn to him, GP, because he's that sort of old school defender. And like why people still love James Collins. Very similar attitudes. Very similar ways they play the game. And hopefully, I think next week, probably get Morley on next week, thinking of that. We've got loads lined up. So I've got Trevor Morley lined up. He wants to come on and do something. Tim Breaker wants to come and do something. Matty Holmes wants to come on and do something. Pete Butler wants to come on and do something. And hopefully get Patsy Holland. I might see if I can get Patsy next week, just in time, because obviously it's the whole eye track Frankfurt thing, isn't it? Wish Dawson's 5 years younger. 5 years younger, I think it'd be an England squad. I reckon he would. Right, let's move on to the Magic Man and Magic Hat. Back three. Obviously, I think Cresswell has made that sort of position his own when he can play. I thought he plays a lot better as a back three rather than as a full back because he still has that pace to go forward, but he's not reliant on it so much. He was okay. he played okay. We do miss when he's not playing. We miss his what's it called? Like his set plays, his delivery. I thought he played okay. I thought the team played okay. As a team, a few not so well, in my opinion. But again, this is just my opinion. Cress's 7, GP 7, Gaza 7, 6. England squad might be 30 players for Qatar. If so, he's on the plane. I thought he said might be 30 players for Quaver, but it was Qatar. 7 is better going forward. His hair gets a 10. Lovely hair. 7. I thought you meant something else. There we go. 7. What did I put him down? 6. So similar. 6, 7. They were trying to freshen up the corners a bit, weren't they, yesterday as well? Like doing these sort of like small rolls to the next player to click it. Oh yeah. Sometimes I wish to just lump it in a bit more and just get Suchek on it. Timothy Thomas, in my opinion, great start to a comment. Rice is comfortably Ham of the Year. We have chosen to forget what he did above others first half of the season. That's the thing. That's a good point, Timothy. That's a good point. And actually, that's one of the issues with Footballer of the Year and stuff like that is it's in terms of the PFA because it's voted for in February. So you could have a really good 4 or 5 months, after that, and you don't get any recognition. Where you could have had a really good period up to February and then been absolute dog. I think you're right. I think also maybe we get too blinkered. Is that the right word? I wouldn't say blinkered, but too, Decky's always at this level. So, you almost like, yeah, he's always going to be good. And I think, I totally get that, mate. I totally get that. Yeah, it's a great shout. But I think someone like Dawson needs to be recognised for the renaissance of his career. I mean, it's going to be this one. It's going to be. I think out of the squad, it is Rice, Bowen, and Dawson. The three of them are Hammer of the Year runner-up in it. His quality cons, and maybe that's a detriment to himself because you always assume he's going to be good. But we'll see. I use shoe polish on my hair. Got a number 1 all over. Good on you, Frank. It's good to know. Let's talk about the main man. Let's talk about Massa. Now, do you know what? Right. I thought he played all right. I actually thought he played all right. Left wing back is his natural position. He's more an attacking threat than a defensive threat. That's for sure. And against someone who wasn't a natural wing back in terms of Loftus-Cheek, I thought he did okay. I actually thought he did okay. Now it's always difficult when you have that sort of like you have a preconception that factor. When you look at the squad and you see Masuaku in the side, you're like, oh balls. So maybe my score is a bit more generous because I was surprised of how well I thought he played. I don't know. For me, everyone gets a 10, and then again I'm biased just by putting a shot. No, I totally agree. Hit the like. Totally agree. Hit the like button. Hit the like button if you were proud of the boys yesterday. Yeah, I am. 6, 5. He is a defensive threat. Masuaku 4. Ooh. Still a good performance from him. It was all right. Want him to play well when he does, so someone comes in to buy him. Indeed, could you imagine? Massa I put down for a 6. I gave him a 6 because I thought he played all right. But again, that may be clouding my judgment because we always think how crap he is. So, but he's a professional football player and he is given a West Ham shirt. So, regardless of if he's not very good, as long as he tries, that's, to be honest, 50% of the thing. Then the application, it's like school. You get a mark for effort and a mark for aptitude. As long as that mark for effort is still there, and he did try. And there was sometimes I think him and Cresswell not defensively the best pairing. Loftus, I don't think Chelsea really exploited that right hand side as much as they should have done. To be fair, but we've got Massa 7, King 7. If you squint, we can say we got Rudiger. It does look. It does. It looks like a young Colton Cole if you squint a little bit too much. Masuaku, best game in a few years, no major mistakes. Indeed, all of them. And yes, I've got my Hammers glasses and I love the team. 6, yeah. Fair enough. Let's move on. Tommy Soucek. Where's Miss Soucek? Strange performance yesterday. Love the high pitch. Sometimes I do go a bit high. I don't mind it. Because I think sometimes it's nice. Tommy Soucek. Strange performance, I think. It was one of those players where you can... I mean, obviously he didn't have Mark Noble. He had Mark Noble with him, not Declan Rice. So there was a bit different there. He never stops running. And he never has. And I think he played quite well with Nobes as a pairing, but didn't do anything to write home about. Does that make sense? He was like... He was competent, but not... I mean, the effort was there, but not the aptitude. So A for effort because he never stops running, but the aptitude wasn't there. He wasn't. He wasn't terrorising defenders so much in the box when it came to crosses. A few times he got some blocks in defensively, but not necessarily in the attacking sense, which I want to see more of. 6, part of our culture, hard working, tackling, broken nose. Totally agree. I totally agree. Afternoon, Chris. Bit of end of product for a change yesterday, indeed. 7, 6, Rama 6, 7. Per Dawson, remember that he was an England international until he was 22. Now I've experienced a team in which he doesn't get to play above his, he can comfortably just play his game. Totally right. Gaza 7, 6, 7. Jordan 6.5, no half points in this game. You know that, Jordan. I put him down for a 6. 4-6. Solid game. He had a solid game. But, not... He's got found out, hasn't he? He's got found out. People know how he breaks in late to the box, so they can track that runner. Last season, they didn't know that as much. So he scored a lot of goals last season, and now he needs to find out another way that he can break into the box. Runs like a dog in a yard, indeed. And Timothy put 6 as well. Let's move on to Mr. Noble, the captain. It was weird. I think once actually he came off, I thought Chelsea had more of the game. Maybe that's just my opinion, but he relished that game yesterday. There was a lot of Noble type tackles. Put his body in the line, just really, puts his body in the line. But of course, he was up against someone like N'Golo Kante, who for me is a dynamo. I think he's a great player. I think Kante's a lovely player. I just think he's just relentless. And I think he was huffing after a while, Mark was, to be honest. But he wasn't pushing forward as much as he tends to do. He was more of the defensive. He was holding back a bit, and I thought he had a decent game. I thought he played all right. I'm trying to think what I put for his score, if I agree with it. Yeah, that's right. I think that's why our corners have changed. Only one centre-back. Probably right. Yeah, you're probably right. His game's a bit limited. Only bad thing. So in Thomas Tumas, I agree. Nobes 7, 8, 7. Quite decent 7, 8, 7. We love Nobes. We do. Noble 7, 6. Unfortunately went sideways and backwards again a lot. Well, that's his game. That's what he does, though. Don't know. He plays it simple. I put him down for a 6, same as James. Good game. But I just didn't. Again, same Soucek. They were there. They weren't necessarily the, driving force, but then they were playing a different game. Chelsea had a lot of shots by the end, a lot of possession, and West Ham's job was to contain them and try and get something on the break. Tim went for Nobles 600. He held it together. And obviously we'll be doing the show about Mark Noble tomorrow night. So check it out. It's a very good show, if I say. Benrahma, right? Let's get the Benrahma plaster off. He frustrated me yesterday. Because in a game where you needed to make the lack of ball we've got count. We were containing, break. And when we need to break, we need to break decisively and we need to hit our men. And he just didn't do it yesterday. And that's fine when you're playing at home, maybe, and you're playing against a side that, you have a bit more possession. You can afford to lose a bit, or you can afford, because, he does try things, and he can be an exciting player. But yesterday, there was a couple of times in the second half, he had the ball on the left, and the pass was on the right-hand side, and he didn't hit the man. and he like just it was just so annoying. I'm pretty sure there were no. You're right, no shots, but second half it went absolutely ballistic. 5-5-6. He wasted his chance when he went past Aspilicueta. Indeed, in the first half, if he'd squared that, I think Fornals was coming in. I think the attackers didn't play very well. The starting attackers, in all honesty, for West Ham. And I'm not just saying that for Benrahma. I don't think Fornals played well. I don't think Yarm had a particularly great game either. But he just so frustrating. 5-4 definitely needs to move for his own good. Wish him all the best, but needs to be better. Benrahma 9 for endeavour, but 6 for end product. Yeah, I mean he's always there. He's always there, Timothy, isn't he? But for me, it was just frustration. That crossfield ball just didn't happen, and we needed to. We needed to be decisive. And he didn't have a lot of ball, but he needed to make it count. And that's what. And the shot in the first half, he squared it. Again, head up a little bit earlier would have, but then you can nitpick everyone, can't you, really? Benny 4, 5, 6, lacks pace, 5, always tries. The problem is that all the skills seems to lack football knowledge. The missing ball, honestly, wouldn't mind if we sold Benny. These another season, took 4 hours a few. He did. And don't forget Bowen, last season, but Bowen was our sub person, weren't he? And now look at him this season. And Benny's our sort of Bowen thing this year. So, but he doesn't give up, does he? And I respect that. I do respect that. I put down for 5. I just did. I just didn't think it wasn't his game. It wasn't his game yesterday. And sometimes it's about knowing when's the right time to play players. We can't expect. He's a maverick player. He is. And he's an enigma, and he has to be played at certain times. Same with Antonio. Antonio shouldn't be played in some games, but he gets played because Moyes plays him. But there's some games I wouldn't have played him. And for something like this, Benrahma maybe not the best option, just because of the lack of ball he's going to get, and so the need to then do something with it. Otherwise, make it count. I don't think he made it count. Fornals. Let's move on to Fornals. To be perfectly honest, for most of the game, I didn't realise he was playing. I'll be honest. I thought there wasn't. He didn't really offer anything yesterday, and he has that game occasionally, isn't he? Every now and then, where he just doesn't get into it, and sometimes when Fornals gets into it, he gets into it. But yesterday, same as Benrahma, they didn't get into it. The lack of ball, I think, for the attacking players, they almost not switched off. That's the wrong expression, but didn't seem it. Do you know what I mean? I would keep Benrahma. I've seen a huge improvement. Yeah, I totally agree. And I think the longer he's in training with the group, no, I agree with you. Totally right there, Scott. 6, 5, anonymous. I thought he was anonymous yesterday. I put him down for a 5 as well, and that hurts me because I'm a big fan of Fornals. But in the same way that I didn't think Benrahma played very well, I don't think Fornals played very well. And I think neither had a great game, which was a shame because there's at least one spot up for grabs for Thursday. 6. El Bowling did a job. Gets a shift in. Average game. We would really miss him if he wasn't in the squad, but only a 6. No, I totally agree. Yeah, went missing. He did. I thought he went missing. I just didn't notice he was actually playing. Actually, to be honest, I forgot about putting him in until the last minute. And I counted. I was like, why have I only got 10 players? And I realised I hadn't put Fornals in because he didn't make it much of an impact, in honesty. And he played the whole 90 as well, which surprised me. 9 for effort. 5 for end products, gives ball away. I think they all did. I think him and Benrahma both gave ball away quite a bit. Yarma. I mean, again, had scraps, in all honesty, didn't he? He had scraps. And then when he was needed to be in the centre, he didn't end up drifting out into the wing. Like, make your mind up, what are we doing? We just from Antonio, now you're doing it, mate. I mean, they tried to hurry that back, their defence, because their defence was shot. I mean, Aspilicueta is on an absolute down at the moment, and they just couldn't get in his face. Maybe a fit Antonio who we don't need on, for a European game, would have been maybe the best option. But obviously, we want to keep him fresh. So Malenko's the option. And I think he wanted some pace. And I think later on when he brought on Bowen for Yarma, that was a better job. Just gives a bit more pressure to that back three of Chelsea. We got Yama walking around as usual. Yeah, I mean, he's been playing well recently, but yeah, 6-6. Yama's the worst player we've signed. GP. Oh, wait till tomorrow. There's some players here. You will not say Yarmolenko is the worst player we've signed ever, even in the last 18 years. Here, and Martin Noble's played with all of them. 7 for effort. Look knackered after 10 minutes. Coming number 7. Your time is up. 6-6-5. Oh, wait, why did we not play on 23s? Indeed, why didn't we? And they're playing tonight as well. They played on Friday as well, didn't they? 5. Really tracking back. He did. He was tracking back to help. But then the thing is, then you lose that focal point up front, didn't it? So there was a shot in the first half, I want to say. Yes, in the first half, which was he did like this no look shot when he came into the left hand side in the box. Ball came down. He just shot no look, and that could literally another bit of his foot that would have probably gone in. But he looked absolutely dreadful. To be fair, we wouldn't be in Europe without Yama's heroic go against Sevilla. So we'll have him for that. Indeed. Carlos Sanchez. Indeed. He wasn't a good player either. Declan Rice came on as a sub. Again, I thought he played okay. He came on, with half an hour to go, imposed himself a bit more than maybe Mark would have done. I think Mark was getting a bit tired. Obviously, ended up having to play second half, sort of the last few minutes at centre back. If that wasn't happening, if there wasn't the sending off, he would have probably tracked Pulisic's run and wouldn't have scored. Chelsea wouldn't have scored that goal. Simple as. So, I mean, did what he could. Yeah, I mean, exactly what I did. 6. Just a 6. Simple 6. I think there was, half an hour. You didn't really have much to impose yourself. Got his legs warmed for Thursday. And as Deck said on, he put a tweet out, he goes, we move on to Thursday. And that's basically it. I don't think Deck had much to do, to be honest. He couldn't really do much in half an hour. I thought we actually played a bit more worse from Dex coming. Maybe we should expect more from him. Hard to go less than a 6, but 6. I know, yeah, I'm exactly the same, Scott. And I think you're right. I think when Noble came off, I think Chelsea started. But I think that's just the nature of Chelsea. Started to play a bit more as well. I just think it was a coincidence rather than a reaction. Bowen came on. Didn't really have much to do. Came on for Yarmolenko. About 15 minutes to go. Hurried. Again, it was almost like he was there. I mean, he did okay. Didn't really do anything to note. I put him down for a 5 because he didn't really do anything. Where Deck's in the middle and he's had a bit more time. I don't think Bowen did anything coming on. I mean, GP's put 6. I put a 5. I don't think it was anything special. 5 hampered, went down to 10 indeed. And then 6, 4, 5, 6. Rice, he should have blocked the goal and carried it and scored himself. Indeed, unbelievable. 5, and it's no slight on Bowen. He's a great player. Just came in. I thought he came in to stretch his legs for 15 minutes, to be honest. And same with Lanzini. I even forgot Lanzini came on, in all honesty, with 10 minutes to go. That one sort of slidely came on. And again, didn't we do much? Another 5. Man of the match for me was Craig Dawson, despite the fact he got sent off. I think that sort of just blighted what would have been probably an 8 out of 10, in my opinion. As Gaz says, these boys will be saving their energy for Thursday. It is indeed. And actually, you look at the squad and it's like, you look who we play, on Thursday. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how we sort of pan out as a team, because Eintracht Frankfurt, in terms of how they line up, I mean, are we looking at, are they doing I'm sure they're doing the scouting and stuff like that. But, I mean, we'll talk about it at 5 o'clock tonight, but they were 2-2. They play this sort of 3-4-3 type formation, kinda 3-4-3. And so are we going to go 3-4-3 or 3 at the back, go wing backs? I don't know. We probably have to, just because we haven't got the players to play that position. But we could do, I suppose. Ben Johnson may move to centre back to partner Craig Dawson, if they went to a back four. Um, yeah, I mean, apart from the centre backs, we should have a fully fit squad, haven't we? Realistically. So we'll have Ariola, and we'll do the preview, but Ariola in goal. I imagine we'll probably go to a back three because we have to with Cresswell, Dawson, Ben Johnson. Probably, I probably would put Fornals left wing back because I thought he's been playing well there. Right wing back, Soufal probably, and then obviously the rest of the team probably picks itself. But yeah, that's what. But we'll do a proper preview on Wednesday. But that's what I think. Obviously, Frankfurt and Evan Ndike, who's their centre back, who scored both ends on Saturday, he's suspended for the game. As to is Christian Jakic, who's their central defender, centre CDM. He's not playing. He's suspended as well. So it'll be interesting to see. Let's have a few more comments. Overall, our team was a 6, considering the players starting, but all the effort came from the back. Totally agree. Need to keep an eye on Kostic and McAuliffe, according to me, scouts in Germany. Kostic, yes, because we were looking at him. We've been looking at him. And Kanouf, both play sort of the wing-back position. Kostic on the left, Kanouf on the right. Kostic has got having a real renaissance. He's 29, but he's having a real renaissance in his career. The guy we have to watch out for is Kameda. Kameda, in my opinion, he scored a great goal. Yesterday on Saturday, and by all accounts, he's scored 4 in the Bundesliga, but he scored the same amount in Europa League, and he's played a lot less games in the Europa League. He's very, very good. Moyes out of 10 for guts to try something. Totally agree. Had to. I think Perkins or could have added more than Yarmolenko. I totally agree. Luckily, they don't have the silver anymore. He left for LP Leipzig, which have to play him in the final instead. Kamara, yep, definitely. He's the one I think we need to watch out for. No 23s. We're going to play with 2 games in 4 days. One was a cup quarter final, and the other is secure second in the league. Is indeed. Obviously, 18s are going for the 18s are going for the Premier League South as well. So it's it's very. There's loads of. And I know it's the first team, but if they're going to just sit on the bench, I mean, Lacey was on the bench yesterday, weren't he? And he'd played 90 minutes. On Friday, so he was never going to start, but we'll see. 23s played indeed. Rice to Chelsea is loading. Global CFC, come on, not going to happen because you're not going to spend any money, are you? Not going to happen. Not going to happen yet. But I don't think so. Let's hope Frankfurt will go home. Frank Hurt, very good. I had to read that. Very good. But then I think the return there is going to be very interesting. Obviously, Frankfurt had a full capacity last week on Saturday for their game, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. Everyone knows happened to Baptiste. We think he's injured. Which game would rather play for? Indeed, Global get out. Indeed, Global CFC. And I forgot which is the only London club still in Europe. I forgot. Interesting how our fans think they know better than the manager. We've had in donkey's years. He's saying we should play. Yeah, but no, I know what you mean. And in the same way, Moisey is very loyal to senior players. He is. But we know he has a keen interest in the youth. Now, I know people say, "Oh, he's not playing under 23s." No, but he was taking training sessions for the 18s the other day. If he doesn't give a shit about the youth, he wouldn't be involved in that. The 18s on Saturday, had Declan Rice there, had Mark Noble there, had Ben Johnson there, Kevin Nolan was there. Again, if they don't give a shit, they wouldn't be there. And to be honest, when certain managers before then, David Moyes is the only manager I know when we have the under 23s at the London Stadium. He's at every one. He's at every one of them games. Pellegrini wasn't. Bilic wasn't. They weren't there. But Moyes was. If he didn't give a shit, he wouldn't be there. Would not be there. Would send Billy McGinley or Stuart Pearce or Kevin Nolan. But he's there. So, but I think the same way. Ballon Dawson, that if we think he gets it wrong, he gets it wrong. And I think, he's admitted that that the squad size is an issue now, but he could have rectified that. So, but it's done now, isn't it? So we just got to all get. At the end of the day, whatever happens, we've all just got to pull together because Thursday is going to be epic. And if you're going, make sure you sit down and watch that bloody light show, because I've seen the cut of the video, and it is brilliant. It's a bit of mosh. I'd say it's a bit of mosh, but make sure you go and you get there early, watch the light show, and watch the vid. I've seen the first cut, and hopefully I'll see it. And the first bit particularly, it got me goosebumply, and it takes a lot to get Rusty B goosebumply, but it did. If Frankfurt win, I'll be Frank hurt indeed. But it's Moyes' decision who the under-20 for, and he's decided what is best for players' long-term development. I mean, we've seen, don't forget Mipu. We brought him in that Man United game and wheeled him off. That's not helping it. It didn't help his career, did it? It's not helped his development. So it's it's. I think sometimes the same as everyone. It's like if Declan Rice doesn't have a good game, we'll say he's not having a good game. Same as Moyes, and he'll admit his mistakes as well, which I quite like. If they're ready, you will play them. Indeed, he just doesn't think they're ready. I think he might be forced to play them. He might be forced to play Elise on Sunday. That's for sure. Against Arsenal, I think he'll have to. I can't think of any other options, and I don't think he'll put Declan into a centre back position. I don't think he will. I think he'd prefer not to play Deck at all on Sunday against Arsenal. I mean, I'd throw Alex Kral in there. I really would. He can play there, and but he obviously hasn't got no faith in him. So, Elise, and he's the one. He's got to be up there. TalkSport was saying this morning Rice should be sold for about 125. That's TalkSport. We have some brilliant under-23s in recent years. We're in now League One or League Two. You're right. You're totally right. If they're right for it, they're right for it, innit? And I totally agree. And we've got opinions. Everyone's got opinions. Everyone watches the 23s. Obviously, they're on YouTube now, and so some good players. I think Okaflex is an exciting player, but in the same way that I think Benrahma can be an exciting play. It's like, well, I don't think you're going to get much difference, in all honesty, by throwing a kid in. But it'll come to a point where they'll go, right, we're not getting no game time, we'll go. Right, fair enough. I mean, it's taken, look how long it's taken Reece Oxford to get, some recognition. Augsburg, he had to move a couple of times in the Bundesliga to now be playing good football. And he was the next one, weren't he? I mean, don't forget that game against Arsenal where he's in Ozil's pocket. But he didn't progress. And we asked Tony Carr about that as well. Speaking of Tony Carr, we've got 2 signed... 2 signed copies of Tony Carr's autobiography to give away. We're doing it on Twitter, so if you're on Twitter, go to West Ham Network, and there's a tweet there. I should pin it actually, but it's a tweet we just put up today. We'll pin it to the top. I'll make sure it's done after lunch. Like it, retweet it, follow Icon Books, and probably Friday we'll do a draw on the show, and we'll give away 2 books, signed autobiographies from Tony Carr. So there we go. Gets paid overtime, time and a half for his under 23s. There you go, done. No one will buy Rice. I don't think they will. 60 million for Rice. Max 2 years left in his contract. He hasn't. He's got 3 years left in his contract. So you don't know nothing. 60 million. Jog on. He doesn't want Chelsea. Russ is worth 200 million. Too bloody right I am. What we got? Is there any chance re-qualifying for Europe to finish 5th if we don't win? Nope. No. Well, I don't. Well, for EL we could finish 6th. But anything, I think even if we Tottenham did the old Mickey Mouse Cup like this year, and I think as long as we're in Europe, I think for me even Conference League, I'd even take that. I mean, Leicester through to the semis. You win that, you're in the Europa League. That's all right. So. And I think maybe the conference, you may see an opportunity to maybe play some more of the youngsters potentially. I don't know, but that's we'll see. Moyes wouldn't foresee what happens. No, I mean 4 centre backs is usually enough in it for every squad. So he wants guarantees in terms of ambition. I think that's exactly right. I think you're right. Come the end of the summer, I think if we've spent what we've been claiming to spend, then I think you will see. I mean, he's on 3 years. He's got 2 years plus a third year extension, which we will exercise for sure. So, you know, and apparently he wants 200 grand. I think we're offering 150. And I think to me, it all comes down to the extra 50 grand a week, which you'll find, and the release clause. That's basically, I think, what's going to take. And you're right, Man U are going to take some while to be. So he wouldn't leave in the summer for Man United because it's a rebuilding job. Look at the turmoil that Ralph Rangnick's left them in, and then Ten Hag's going to come in. It's going to take him a couple of years. Chelsea, they've got all the issues with Abramovich. That will take some time to move. And actually, Chelsea are probably all right for midfielders at the moment. City are going to spend big on Haaland and in terms of wages, so they can't really get another guy on 250 grand a week, which is what Deck will probably command. And the only option is going abroad. I don't think he will do because his whole family have to go out there with him. So that's what I reckon we'll be all right. Wants to captain us. He's brought in especially with the credentials. You're totally right. And he comes back. Russ, I'm not going to Man City. Despite the rumours, I'm not going. Unless they should leave this summer and go play senior football, no point. Looking brilliant. He needs. You're right. It's a make or break for a lot of these players at the moment. There were some strong teams conference besides the Spuds. I know. Yeah, PSV, Leicester, some good signs there. So you know, even if you do get conference, I'm happy with that. It's not ideal. Obviously, you want to be playing Champions League. You know, if you will be playing Champions League, because we're in Europa League. But to be in Europe again is, I think, important. We should keep rights for 2 years, have the benefits of that, and sell it if we have that into the final year, maybe. I was here when you beat us in December, and here when we beat you yesterday. Brilliant. Win Europa League and Champions League in the next season, indeed. Russ has already signed for Dagenham, according to Stell. Fair enough. Dagenham Redbridge? Well, from Man City, unbelievable. Ten Hag's 18 months to rebuild. Named coach in 2024. We'll see. Rice will only have 12 months. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Mandy, oi, Mr. Cristobal not working. Guess we'll have to wait and see. As I said, 5 o'clock tonight, Hammer's headlines, talking about the Frankfurt game, talking about Lewis Porter, talking about the under-18s and the women's, how they got on over the weekend. Anton will be doing the dailies tomorrow and Wednesday as usual. I'll be back Thursday and Friday. That's how we sort it out. Tomorrow night we'll be doing the Noble Era show, so make sure you check it away. 9 o'clock UK time tomorrow. Be a really good show. Starting to come to terms with the fact that Mark will be retiring at the end of the season. As Simon said, he's glad he saw Noble play his last game at the Bridge. He played well. He did play well, actually. So make sure you check that out tomorrow. We'll have the preview on Wednesday. Thursday, we're not doing a watch-along, but we'll be doing a review show straight after that, like outside the stadium with Anton and hopefully some of the others as well, and some of the other Baker family. And then we start getting ready for the Arsenal game. Okie dokie. All right then, guys. As I said, if you're new around here, it's a few new names. Nice to see some new names. If you're new around here, subscribe. It's free. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss any time we put content on. Like the video, please. It always helps. Put a lovely little comment afterwards, or maybe not so lovely. It's up to you. Maybe become a channel member. We've got over 50 on the on the network already. Every month we do a prize draw. The Luckster, if you're listening, Luckster, please send me an email. You won a signed West Ham team shirt, from the Europa League semi-final team. Please let me know. I need to send it to you. Thank you. Also, we'll be doing the draw probably this week for the Tony Carr autobiographies, 2 signed copies, and also we're doing the draw for the Irons Food Banks as well. And we're hopefully doing another draw for another Irons Food Banks signed shirt as well, which will be coming up maybe a couple of weeks' time. So, as I said, I'd like to thank all of our channel members at each of my shows. Take care, everyone. Stay safe, wash those hands, stay lucky, stay cheeky, my friends. And I'll see you at 5 o'clock. Ciao, ciao for now.
say, once you let it change. It's like a family tree, part of you and part of me. And if we should separate,